Hello everybody, this is Leroy Power from Practical Solutions Inc. And I'm going to give you guys a basic rundown of how we set up our Ciena 3906 virtual switch. Following on, our goal was to establish an end-to-end connection within the network using two virtual appliances, one being an SD-WAN appliance with secure data transfer through an IPsec tunnel, and the other being a next-generation firewall appliance to filter out the data that would enter the LAN. Once end-to-end connectivity has been established and functioning consistently, the data used in this lab will then be transferred and implemented into a live production environment. Regarding this setup, the use of 4 products from 3 different vendors were used. These are the Ciena 3906 virtual switch, FortiGate next generation firewall appliance, the SilverPeak Unity Edge Connect, and the SilverPeak Unity Orchestrator. The software used in this setup, we use PuTTY, which is a terminal software to enter the Ciena 3906. You can use an FTP server of your choice. In our lab, we use FileZilla. And you can also use an MD5 hash generator of your choice, but in our lab, we use Sigwin64 terminal. Following on, this is a Ciena 3906 logical view of our lab. So right here, this is port 1. And it is mapped to WAN 1 of the SilverPeak Edge Connect virtual appliance, and port 2 of the 3906 virtual switch is mapped to WAN 2 of the SilverPeak Edge appliance. Port 3 is mapped to the LAN port of our FortiGate virtual firewall, and port 4 is mapped to both management ports on each virtual appliance. Following on, once you gain access to the terminal of your switch, these are the parameters that were used in our lab to configure our switch. This basically sets up the LAN, the interlink, the WAN 1, and WAN 2 for each virtual appliance. Alright, so upon entering the following commands, you can then check the status of them by entering the command configuration show. And upon doing so, the following should show up. As you scroll down, it should show the confirmation of each command that you entered from the start to the end. And you can just use this command just to check the status of any commands that you entered to alter the configuration of your 3906 virtual switch. The licenses to download. There should be 3 licenses that were included in your 3906 package. The following were included in ours. This includes the Advanced Security License, the Advanced Ethernet License, and the OAM license. To the right, it shows you how to enter the command to download and install your license. So in the terminal from the SEOS, you would enter the command software license install license key, and you would enter the license key that is provided to you on the paper itself, followed by module, and then you would type in a number 1 through 3. For example, module 1, module 2, and module 3 for the following 3 licenses. Now, in order to download the different licenses, you would have to access the terminal of the switch, and through here, we would use PuTTY. You would enter in the IP address to your switch. Now, this one may differ from yours, as this one was changed from the default IP. So I enter in 172.16.233.223, and I use the telnet connection, and I open it. And here you would get the login, and from this login, I use the super user, so that would be the SU with the password being WWP. And upon doing so, you get the welcome to the shell notification. And from here, you would enter the command software license show. After you've downloaded it, you can see from here and check the status of it. And as you can see, it shows that all 3 or 4 licenses were downloaded and installed correctly. ONI installation. So in order to get into the virtual portion of the switch, you would have to install Oni. Step one, you would have to download the software DNFVI, unzip it and move it, and rename it from its original name to Oni Installer. After that, you connect the USB stick to your 3906 virtual switch, and it should automatically begin the installation. If it doesn't automatically install after you log in correctly, you would just have to enter the following command: Oni discovery start. Now this is after you enter the command, the module diag shell module NFV. So transitioning into the Oni installation, once you download the Oni file from the Ciena portal under the software option and then under the DNFBI option, you could then place it onto a USB key like how we did in this lab. And from there, this process should already start up where the Ciena 3906 switch searches for that file once you change the extension to from bin and remove it and rename the file to Oni-installer. It will then search for this file and then begin the Oni installation process. And I showed a little snippet of that earlier, but I sped up the process because just for the time's sake of this video. And right now I just used the command shell IP interface to display the IP address that's given to the 3906 switch. That was gotten dynamically, by the way. And right now I will be transitioning into another interface, the diag shell, using the command diag yp-shell. And from here, I will be entering the config terminal interface. And then from here, I will enter a command used to download the file, the license file that we've gotten from the Ciena portal that's placed from the FTP server to download a file, the license file for this switch. And if you look closely, that is the following command right there. And leaving the config terminal, I will then copy and paste this command to actually download the file itself. Generation of the registration ID. So in order to generate the registration ID, you would have to use the command license generate reg ID in the NFV interface. This interface will be available to you after you have gone through the Oni installation process. And in order to transfer this file that was generated to your FTP server, this is the following command that you would have to use: curl-t, the name of the file that was generated in your 3906 virtual switch, FTP and your FTP server IP, user, the name and the password of the FTP server, and then enter. The following is an example of how we transferred our file to our FTP server. So from the virtual portion, you just enter license generate reg ID. You will then see that the file, the license file, has been created and it's been saved under this directory. You would then enter the command diag shell, and you should be transferred to the UI. From there, you can change directory to the directory that the file was downloaded from. And you would enter the following command. Following that, moving downwards, you would then enter the command to transfer the file from the 3906 to your FTP server. So curl-t, the name of the file, FTP server IP, username, and password. And once you have successfully done that, you should receive a notification saying the percentages received, total, and the average upload and download speed. And right now I will be transitioning into another interface, the diag shell, using the command diag yp-shell. And from here, I will be entering the config terminal interface. And then from here, I will enter a command used to download the file, the license file that we've gotten from the Ciena portal that's placed from the FTP server to download a file, the license file for this switch. And if you look closely, that is the following command right there. And leaving the config terminal, I will then copy and paste this command to actually download the file itself. Alright, the next command I enter will be the sget/files command, and this command is used to check the status of all downloaded files onto the 3906 switch. And I'll be using this command just to check the status, just in case. And as you can see right here, the file was successfully downloaded, and it shows the parameters that were used to download the file itself. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share, and if you have any questions, you can contact us at info@ps4b.com. This is a series video, and this is just part 1. If you want to get more info on how to download and install the FortiGate virtual appliance or the Silver Peak virtual appliance, there should be a link down below in the description. Thank you for watching, and enjoy your day.